couple years ago, I was in Berkeley, and I've been to Berkeley and Oakland several times, and I noticed this strange phenomenon. Many of the businesses have far-left protest signs in their windows. And at first glance, I just assumed most of these businesses support far-left protesters and far-left ideology. But it wasn't until I went to one establishment that had a sign in their window where I was talking to the bartender. It was a bar. There you go. And it was a restaurant with a bar. And the bartender said, well, we were having a political conversation, and they did not sound far left. In fact, they sounded quite moderate and, kind of liberal. And I said, so then what's with the sign in the window? And they said, if we don't put that up, they'll destroy our they'll smash the windows, they'll loot and rob the store. You never know. And I was like, whoa, really? There were a bunch of stores, all of them, and some of them were just like a nail salon from Asian immigrants. And I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense. The violent riots that happen in Oakland, they're terrified someone will come and smash their windows. In France, there was during I think it was France. No, I think it was Germany, Hamburg. There is a photo of all of these storefronts smashed out, save one, with a far left protest sign in the window. So let's get to the, we'll get back to this, okay? But let's get to the brass tacks here. Last night, I should say this morning, about 4 hours ago, I was greeted at my home by a strange person who tried breaking in. All of a sudden, I wake up, and I'm thinking to myself, did I just hear a noise? And what people don't seem to understand is that the mindset you have when you're alert and awake throughout the day is dramatically different to when you're asleep and just wake up. Plus, optimism bias, right? There was one story I heard about a security guard at a bank, saw a bunch of guys running with masks on, and he didn't do anything. And they asked him why later, and he said, I couldn't believe it was actually happening. Well, so here's what happens. I wake up at about 4:27, as the security camera shows, because I heard a noise. And I'm groggy, confused. I've just been pulled out of a deep sleep, and I have no idea what's happening. My brain's not functioning yet. And I heard this noise. My lights were on. Now, my lights are voice activated because I have the Amazon device. And my first thought was, must be a critter. I don't know. But why are my lights on? Well, the reality is my lights, for whatever reason, aren't functioning properly. They turn on randomly. It's really annoying. I think I know why, but it's like they're supposed to be set on a timer to wake up with the sun. It's a really frustrating thing. They're actually really cool, by the way, but boy, do they not work. So in the middle of the night, the lights are on. I hear this noise, and I wake up, and I think it's nothing. Maybe the dog. I have no idea. About a couple minutes after that, I hear knocking. And now I realize there actually is someone at my house. This is weird. It's 4:30. It's pitch black outside. I open up my security cameras, and I can't see a damn thing. So I'm frustrated. Why is the porch light off? It's on specifically for this reason. They are special bulbs that, so whatever. I guess we need motion detectors. Due to the nature of the local issues that have been happening, because I live here, and the Antifa people who have been harassing and threatening these businesses, I took this very, very seriously. Who in their right mind shows up to a house at 4:30 in the morning walking, and it's not my neighbors? Anybody I know would have sent me a text and said, hey, I need to stop by. It's an emergency. But then we started hearing noise in the back, like someone may have been trying to break in. So at that point, I said, I'm calling the cops, right? Now, the cops are about 1 block away from me. So, a little bit more than that, but I'm, exaggerating. But they're close. The cops are close. So I call the police and I say, look, and I don't know if I'm overreacting, but someone showed up to my house at 4:30. I heard a noise. They're knocking on the door, and we're concerned about potential threats, and we have no idea why this person is here. Now, look, at first we kind of ignored it, but then we heard a noise at the back door, and we think maybe they're knocking to see if anyone's home. Maybe it's, they want to knock first before breaking in, or it could be somebody who is potentially threatening me or the event. And I was like, it's awkward for me to say, but I said, I've come to you guys before and let you know that I have like a YouTube channel and that people might, try and pull something like this. And the cops were like, yeah, don't worry about it. We'll swing by. Well, this is where it gets interesting. I'm on the phone with dispatch or communications or whatever. And he says, did you just meet the officers? And I said, no. And he says, you're not with the officers right now. I said, no, I'm not. And then I can hear the other cop on the radio saying something about being with the caller. And he's like, that's not you. And I'm like, I'm in my house. There's nobody here. Like, the cops haven't pulled up. Turns out the cops found the guy. He was about a block away, and they stopped him, and they searched him. The dude claimed he was a big fan of news anchor extraordinaire Tim Pool, and that he walked here